There's always this perception that everything wild is somewhere else. Everything wild is out west or up north. And there's so much adventure to be had just north of Detroit. When Sasha comes into town, I want to start her on some things that have been climbed before. There's one thing when you're drafting a placement that's already been made for you, and then it's another thing to climb virgin ice.
I'm not really an ice climber at all, but Angela is the queen of ice climbing, so she's gonna show me the ropes today.
Getting a good swing is just crucial for leading, and that's something that's not always focused on when you first get into climbing. Swing it in there. Come on. Yeah. No. Because if you're on lead, you're not gonna want to move off that. There.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
That's it.
One of my approaches to life when it comes to education, when it comes to climbing, I don't want to be limited by the fact that I don't know how to ice climb.
Sasha did shockingly well. It was really impressive. I know she's just ridiculously strong, so I wasn't really surprised, but I was surprised with how quickly she changed. After just 3 burns on the first day, she looked like a whole different climber. When it comes to climbing virgin ice, it's totally different. So I want to get her on things that have not been climbed and ultimately get her feeling really comfortable with her kicks and swings so that she can lead ice herself and feel what it's like to be on the sharp end. On this coastline, it's known that there's ice on Grand Island, so we actually have a plane hired, so we're going to be able to scout this from the air. There's just so many nooks and crannies along the shoreline, and it just hides. Start seeing ice, and we just can't believe it. There's like ice everywhere. We're like, oh, there's ice there, there's ice there. And then it's like, oh wow, this is really bumpy. And then we're still seeing ice, so we're all glued to the windows. And then it's like, where's the garbage bin? I got really sick, but we were so psyched to find ice. What I realized is that there's so much ice out there, and yet even with having an aerial view of it, it's still so hard to find. Since 2013, the channel hasn't frozen over to cross. So getting to the island hasn't been an option for as long as I've been climbing in Michigan. We're drilling ice to see how thick it is, see if we can get the snowmobiles across to Grand Island. Looks good, 6 inches.
1 inch will hold a man, 2, man and his horse.
The Upper Peninsula of Michigan is this open wilderness, and it's fun. I got to learn how to drive a snowmobile for my first time. And I was like, ah! I thought it was gonna fall on top of me. It was really scary. I think I had too much fun.
I think a lot of the climbing here doesn't get access because of its approaches.
To team up with another strong female is really inspiring to me because there's something about watching another woman do something and feeling like I can relate to that. I think that once I learned my confidence in her, I felt like our partnership just really clicked.
You have to earn people's trust. I expected it to be great, but I really didn't expect to get this close to her so fast. I really appreciate that because it ultimately led to the success of our climbing. Just so dreamy.
You're such a badass for leaving that. It's definitely like the hardest one yet. Getting ready to wrap in. I got really nervous. You don't want to end up in the water. To team up with another strong female is really inspiring to me because there's something about watching another woman do something and feeling like I can relate to that. I think that once I learned my confidence,